Yeah.
Underway. Right. Okay, both machines are running, I think. Just making sure. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen a bit here. I'm going to say some formal stuff for the guys who are going to watch this cold, so they've got some context. So some will hit this. I have no idea what's going on if I don't sort of explain things. Okay, so screen should start sharing in a minute. Here it goes. Okay, so I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. Welcome to the webinar, the free webinar, How to Help Others Transmute Their Karma into the Gifts of Service with a Soul Contract Reading Training. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'll read out a little formal bit at the beginning what this is about, then we can relax, okay? So, have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives? No matter how hard they've tried, they are just too painful for them to face, as they lack the spiritual map of life about how to overcome them. So this free live webinar is how you can help others overcome these challenges by identifying these core karmic patterns and how to go about transmuting them so they can deliver the gift of service to the world. It's a special thing they've been looking for their entire life. Okay, this is how to bring light workers online. So I've been doing this for about 34 years now, doing soul contract readings. And my gift of service is to share this with the world to raise consciousness. That's why I was born. And my teacher, Frank Harper, gave me a reading in Arizona in 1990. He took a Star of David and he asked me for my birth certificate name. And he explained my entire life in 1 hour, which had been, my life at that stage, at age of 30, was completely chaotic, bouncing off the walls. I had no idea what was going on. It changed my life radically. And the only more powerful thing that ever happened was the birth of my son, in terms of profound moments in life. So I want to share this with you guys so that you can help others have that profound experience of awakening out of the unconsciousness of the matrix, or however far you've got in terms of your unconscious awakening. This is why I'm here. That's why I share this work. And I'd gone for a workshop in America called the Carousel of Growth. And I walked into this room, there were 30 people there. I'd never been to America before, in Phoenix. And they seemed very familiar to me. And Frank gave me that soul contract reading during that week. And I said to him, how do I learn this? He said, well, I'm going to teach this in about 6 weeks. So I just stayed on in America for another 6 weeks. I stayed with all the people I met on the first training, moving all over America. And then I went back again to Phoenix to learn this work. And then once I learned it, I brought it to England and have been spreading it in the English language through Europe and America ever since. So I want to find out why you guys are here, because that can help me formulate the way this webinar goes. It's not a sort of like a fixed format. It's more about what you guys need. So a little bit, if you just say where you are, you guys, and what brought you here and what you need from it, then I can pitch it to whatever you need, okay? So basically you help drive the design and flow of it. So who wants to start? Do you want to start, Chi?
Yes, that's fine. I am here. I'm in Sydney at the moment, and I discovered you on Gaia TV.
Yeah.
And I resonated with the program that you did with Regina.
Yeah, Regina.
And then I looked up the Centre for Consciousness, and then I looked up you on Facebook, and I'm just very drawn to you. And I don't have a teacher at this time, because for the last 3-4 months, my guides have asked me to kind of step back and be in my own energy. But now I have this resonance with you.
Okay. You get drawn at the right time. So what do you need from this? Do you have any particular need, or are you just exploring, or?
I don't have needs. I just follow my intuition, and that is my only need.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that then. Eldridge.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, mate.
All right, good. Well, a couple of years ago, my sister, she said that she was doing something studying, and part of that study was doing a soul plan.
Yeah.
And so I asked her to practice on me.
Yeah.
So she took my full name, and then she broke down elements from my name, and I was just kind of really, really amazed in terms of what she was speaking to me about, and what she shared and stuff. Obviously, we did go out together, but we're older now, so some of the things that she was coming out with really left me kind of, wow, I really like this kind of stuff. And this is something which I would like to be able to do and to look into. Yeah, so she gave me your name. And she said, look up because you do free webinars. So I thought I'll come on just to get a little bit more information.
Well, we can show you what's going on there. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it then. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again, and feel free to ask questions at any time, guys. So that's what we're here for. So how does this work? I'm going to summarize it because some people will be watching this who come across it for the first time. Let's talk about how our karma contains our gift of service. I mean, when you guys were kids, do you have a feeling there was something important you were here to do, but no one could tell you what it was? Do you have that feeling? Did you have that search? Someone's not telling me something. Did you have that, G, as a kid?
I was aware that there was something much bigger. I just didn't question it. I didn't question anything as a child.
Yeah. Eldridge, do you have a feeling there was something important you were here to do?
When I got into my teens, I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a stuntman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I got a bit older, then you kind of get a sense of, you know, why we're here, what is it all about, and what is it that I can do. And just feeling a bit, not so much overwhelmed, but I think trying to find my purpose in life.
Yeah. Okay, so our karma, our biggest challenge in life, contains our spiritual gift of service, the last place we think looking. Because the way that happens is that the law of attraction, you guys heard of the law of attraction?
Yes.
Yeah, what you think and feel, usually unconsciously, creates your reality around you. Okay?
Yes.
And so what happens here with the soul contract, which is a set of vibrations and ancient Hebrew letters, which match the name of your birth certificate name in English in the case of you guys, it's programmed into you, into your DNA, into your physical body, your energy bodies, and it radiates out to the matrix. And the matrix, you guys are familiar with the film The Matrix? Yeah. Radiates out to the matrix, and the matrix rearranges around that to create your reality. Okay, so this is the core attraction code, the core program that creates your reality. But initially, when we're younger, you get the law of opposites running, so you get everything you don't want in life. Okay, this is the one they don't tell you about, the law of opposites. You get everything you don't like, so you get clear what you don't want, and therefore you start moving in the direction of what you do want. So if, let's say, for example, you have a lot of disempowerment, you would then seek to become empowered to overcome that. Okay? So our reaction to our karmic pattern is an indicator of what we're here to do. So if you're to come into your power to make a difference in the world, you have a lot of disempowerment initially, and the karmic challenge is to overcome it, come into your power. And so that is the gift of service in this case. And the gift of service is usually earned the hard way, okay? Simply because we have to face some of these things because they won't go away. So all the biggest challenges are our lessons. It's not something we need to avoid, which is what most people do. It's something to turn into, to bring consciousness to, because then once we embrace it and take it out to the world, then we're delivering our gift of service. And very few humans connect to the gift of service. And the purpose of this work is to connect you guys. And if you decide to learn how to do this work to help others, so they can connect to their gift of service, which is why we were born as light workers, to discover that gift of service, hone it, and bring it out to the world to awaken as many people as possible. That's the real reason why we were born. So, and light workers are going around looking for that answer. What's my purpose? You hear this all the time. And so what happens here is that just got to get my pen right here. Get the you are the answer to that search. What is my purpose? It's not to make a ton of money, which is what the Matrix will say to you, and compete against everyone and have the most of everything. That gets boring after a while. Ask any rich person. Okay, all right. Purpose is to get to align to the soul's true purpose. And its true purpose is very rarely to make money. But that's what we're brainwashed in the Matrix to believe. Success at any cost, money at any cost. And so if you guys decide to learn to be a soul contract reader, practitioner, that will enable you to decode the secrets of the blueprint of life for spiritual seekers hidden within the sounds of their name, which create their reality in every moment using the law of attraction. And this spiritual map of life will empower them to overcome their karma, which is what everyone wants to do. Most people give up after a while, especially once they reach middle-aged or more, because they've tried, but they haven't had the tools. Express more of their talents. The purpose of this is to give them the tools. Achieve their goals. I mean, the regret that most people have at the end of life is they never achieved all their goals, and this can help you understand what they are and how to get there. Then, by overcoming the karma, expressing the talents, and achieving the goals, they can help people manifest their soul or life purpose to create a very fulfilling life. It's the most precious thing a human can do in this lifetime. Some sense of fulfillment. So how does this work? Now here's how it works. Whoops. Lost my PowerPoint here. So what we do is that we work with the Star of David, and we take the frequencies of your name, which is a set of energies. We match your name to the equivalent Hebrew sounds, and we decode them on the Star of David, which I'll do a demo on this shortly. But basically, this is a gateway of consciousness, which allows us to understand what the soul came here to do. And it consists of two triangles. There's a large downward pointing triangle and a large upward pointing triangle. And the downward pointing triangle represents the physical side of life, because we as you as Chi and you as Eldridge, you are basically brand new personality expressions of the soul in this lifetime. We've never existed, Nicolas here, never existed before, but our souls are eternal. We just have a different personality. We put on, how many, you guys watched the movie Avatar?
Yes.
Yeah, so we put on a personality avatar, which is what this Star of David, the soul contract work describes. So we climb into our avatar for 70, 80, 90 years and have a certain experience through that body and through that emotional lens that we have. And this work describes what that is. And the soul designs the soul contract to give us the next optimal step in our growth. And so when we're born, we need to learn to walk and talk. This is the physical triangle here. Get up and running in life, education, relationships, housing, get up and running, create a career. And between the ages of 35 and 42, so between the first 5 cycles of 7 years on the physical side, and then we move to the spiritual triangle here. which is the first 5 cycles, or second, it's the 6 cycles between 35 and 42, which is typically when we have the midlife crisis. So when did you guys have your midlife crisis or awakening? About 35 to 42? Earlier? It could be earlier, it could be later. Chi, when did you have yours?
A bit later.
Later.
Oh, actually, no, because I've had 2.
When was the first
So
one?
my first one was 30 and the second one was toward the late 40s.
Okay, so you're about right. You're around about the same time zone. You. Eldridge, when did you have your midlife crisis? When did you wake up?
I don't think I have yet. I think I'm still asleep.
Well, you're here, so I think you're waking up. So.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. Like I said, what my sister done this, I was just really amazed. But I know because I'm quite busy because I foster, I wasn't able to show any form of commitment yet. But now things have evened down in terms of what I'm doing. You know, this year, I remember 2 years ago, I remember saying 2024, this is the time I'm going to make time to just make sure that, you know, I can find out a bit more about soul plans and stuff. But midlife crisis, I'm pretty even in terms of personality. I think, yeah, so.
Well, the awakening's happening now. Do you have a headset so we can get better sound from you? It's coming and going. Do you have a headset for your phone?
Yeah, I've got headphones on, but they're not really good ones.
Okay. Well, if you move the where's the microphone, in the headphones or in the phone on the mobile itself?
All right, yeah, but there's going to be a lot of distractions as well because like I'm just on the bus at the moment as well, so it interferes with the sound.
Closer, and then we'll get better sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So, in our midlife crisis or spiritual awakening, whenever that happens, typically 35 to 42, might happen when I was that age. The spiritual triangle comes online, where we start to search for real purpose. A sister gives us a soul contract reading, okay, or we have some significant thing happen that really awakens us. So what happens is that we review everything and we say, well, none of this is working the way I want anymore. I need to create new relationships, maybe a different job, need to search for my real purpose. And so the soul is trying to build the spiritual mission on the spiritual triangle on top of the physical triangle here. So it's trying to get on with a real purpose. All right. And it's hoping you've created a good physical triangle so that it has a good foundation to lift off with a real purpose. I mean, my life changed radically. I left the corporate world in the city in London at 37 and created this business about 26 years ago. My life's completely different now as a result. Okay, so, and within each of these triangles, these 3 aspects, we have karma, talents, and goals. And karma is those unresolved past life issues that the soul brings in to create that negative context of life by the law of opposites, which we are here to overcome by activating our latent physical talents in this case, because it's physical karma. And as we overcome them, our gift of service starts to emerge. And as the physical talents get stronger, that moves us towards the physical goals, which is our dream, gets us out of bed in the morning. I mean, I like engaging with people, sharing knowledge. It's one of my goals is to connect with you guys regularly. That's why I love doing these. So the energy flows from karma to talents to goals in the physical, and from spiritual karma to spiritual talents to spiritual goals in the spiritual. So this is more, how do we awaken to higher consciousness, bring through our gift here. Okay, and the spiritual talents helps us achieve that if it's a good match, and it helps us move towards the spiritual goals over here as well. And if my spiritual goal is to basically share knowledge, which is why I teach. It's my favorite thing to do. And if we consciously work through all the 6 outer aspects here, what happens is that we start to manifest the soul destiny. True purpose for being here. That answer to that big question, what's my real purpose? And what happens over time is that with this time here, this percentage complete, what happens over time is that we progressively increase the amount of each aspect. You have one of these for each one of these. And as you consciously work on it, which you can do and you can help others do, what happens then is that as you hit certain thresholds of completion of the 6 outer aspects, different layers of the soul destiny are revealed. But only enough that you can consciously handle. You're never told more than you can handle. I mean, if I knew what I was doing now, sort of 33 years on from the time I had my reading, I wouldn't believe it. Having best-selling book, being on Gaia, having a global teaching business, it would be unimaginable when I first started this, therefore it's not revealed. And so what happens is that when the next level is ready, it reveals and you say, well, that's a stretch, but it's doable. Okay, so it's an incremental awakening that happens to us. Because we're meant to go from being completely asleep, disconnected from source, from God, to progressively awakening. And that visceral feeling journey is what's described in the soul contract. And the purpose of the work is to guide us back to God, basically, in a way that we can handle. And that visceral experience is us as a spark of the Creator creating. It's not some privileged white guy with a beard sitting on a throne up in heaven. It's us. We're sparks. We're sparks of the divine. Okay, awakening. And this is the purpose of life, and the purpose of the soul contract work is to guide us, give us that spiritual map, so that we can follow that optimal path with as much grace and ease as possible, given how challenging life is because of our karmic patterns. Sort of a summary of what we're doing. Any questions so far? So this is how life works. There you go. That's done in about 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. You guys are okay with that? So,
Yep.
let's find out how your life.
318 to North Middlesex Hospital.
Okay, thanks, Eldridge. Yep. Okay, so who would like to taste a reading? Explain their life, how your life works.
Yes.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey, you're on first, and we'll do about 10-15 minutes. So I need to get to my software. Just need to move some of these Zoom menus around. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to analyze your chart and show you how it works so people can see
Okay.
practically what happens here. So you okay with that? Bare your soul publicly?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. But
But-
Kiana is not my birth name.
Hmm?
Kiana is not my birth name.
I know that. We're not going to put that in
Oh,
there.
okay.
So what's your current name normally? How do you spell it?
My birth name is Karen.
I know, but your current name, because I had to put it in here.
Oh, Quiana. Q-U-I-A-N-A.
And what's the last name? Is that what you're using scribe there or something else?
Scribe.
Okay. Right. Okay, but what's the birth name on the birth certificate? Karen?
Karen. Do you want the middle name?
Need all of it exactly as written on the birth certificate.
Marie, M-A-R-I-E.
Yep.
Eckford, E-C-K-F-O-R-D.
Like that?
I can't see that. I'm
E-C-K,
on the phone.
E-C-K-F-O-R-D.
Yes.
I won't put your date of birth because it's a public video, but we can put your star sign in if you're okay with that. What's your star sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay. With the Cappy in there. And you're consenting to this. Yeah, you're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
You put the date in here, 16th of January, and we go, okay. So this is soulcontractreader.com software. So for you guys watching, if you want to generate your chart, you can generate 4 free charts using the software here. Just go to this one. That's why we built it. It's on the web. Okay. I'll put all this on the links on the YouTube channel as well.
Thank you.
So let's take a look at your chart. I'm going to go, so your name is in here. You're a Capricorn. I'll go chart. It's going to work this out now. All right, it's going to rearrange these windows, these webcams so I can see everything. All right. Okay, so what we've done here is that we have converted your name. These 22 ancient Hebrew letters we use. And we've matched them, the software's matched them to the sound of your name here in English. Because we have a translation matrix that goes from English, written English as it's pronounced, but it can handle any other language that with what we call phonetics. Okay. But even if you guys have a non-English language, which I know some of you do who are watching, as long as you're using the Roman alphabet, you can type your name in to the software, it'll still give you a good reading. Okay, it'll give you a more personality-based reading, but if you want more help, we can offer you the name assistance service, and we work out the equivalent written English as it's pronounced. And that'll give you more spiritually based names. So effectively, say you're Danish, for example, you would have two names. You would have the written form, and you'd have the phonetic form. Okay. So what we've got here, so you can get good reading off the written form exactly as it is. So what we've got here is this is the equivalent Hebrew. Sometimes one Hebrew sounds equivalent to two letters in the English name, but it's not in this case. And then out of that drop these Hebrew numbers. Okay. And these numbers are inherent within the name, within the Hebrew letters, not allocated like normal numerology, which is why this is completely different to what you may be familiar with. So you can't really compare it with normal numerology. So what's happening here is that these are English letters which match a Hebrew frequency, and we're going to decode these guys. In the Soul of Moses channel for about 9 months through Frank Alpha, my teacher in the 80s, what these numbers mean depending on where they are on the Star of David. Yeah. So I'm going to explain how we got these numbers. So what we do is we take these numbers here. You start at physical karma. We allocate them around the Star of David, like this. We use them all up. Then we add the numbers up. So in physical karma, we have 19 plus 1 plus 19 equals 39. And because we only have 22 interpretations channeled from the Soul of Moses, we can't actually, there's no meaning to 39, so we need to reduce it. The first number between 1 and 22, so we get 3 plus 9 equals 12, which does have meaning. And because this is called this is the double digit number, we need to reduce that to the smallest number, get the second number. 1 plus 2 equals 3. It becomes 3 here. So in physical karma, Karen, you have a 12 and a 3. And don't think of it in terms of normal maths. It's just an English number label for a Hebrew frequency. Okay. Remember, that's Lamed and that's Gimel in Hebrew. So you have Lamed and Gimel here, two frequencies of Hebrew. And so you're going to experience all what we call the negative expression. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a lesson, the learning of a 12 and a 3. Okay. On this continuum. It's like hot and cold taps in the shower. And the idea here is that you'll be some blend of these along this continuum. Okay.
Yep.
Any given time in your whole lifetime, you'll move across this continuum to experience it all.
Yep.
And in the case of, say, physical talents, the total is 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. And so 9 plus nothing gives another 9. So it's one frequency. It's not a range of frequencies. It's one frequency. So in physical talents, it's very specific what you're here to experience. So we work out all the other guys accordingly. Okay.
Yep.
Then what we do is that we take the physical numbers, put them on the top half of this table. Spiritual numbers on the bottom half. Okay. And then what we do is we add up the two columns. Get 46 and 28. So these need to be reduced. 46 has to go to the first number below 22. So 4 plus 6 equals 10. Which is that one. 28 goes to 2 plus 8 equals 10. But this has to be a single digit number. So 1 plus 1 equals 1. So you get a 10 and a 1. And your soul destiny, which pops into here.
Okay.
You okay? Is that clear?
Yeah, I understand the math.
And then these channel symbols that Frank brought through basically will tell me what I need to tell you. So I'm going to give you a brief reading. So best thing to do is to ask you, what is the big question you have about your life, Karen, at this moment? Then we'll show the chart what that's about.
I think the reason I have no question is and that the reason I don't follow a question is because I just don't know. I'm just like, I have driven myself nuts trying to figure out my life and what it's for and how to do it, and I just don't know any of it anymore. So I just go with my intuition, and I'm always asking my guides, even on my walks, which direction will I go now? I'm just really gone within. I know nothing.
Good place to be.
I'm finally there after a year. Yeah.
So we'll go through this chart briefly. So were you shy as a child, Chi?
Yes.
Okay, you were shy because the 3 is about hiding away in this internal canal.
Mm-hmm.
Like of unworthiness here. Not feeling worthy to show yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What was your relationship like with your dad? You're saying there's a big issue with your dad here, the masculine energy.
Big issue with masculine energies outright. Yes.
Yeah. What in summary is that you're prepared to share here? Just so I got some idea.
Sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just all the abuse that goes along with that, I suppose.
Yeah. So that
Emotional.
Yeah, that was there to trigger the unworthiness. Okay, so you could overcome the unworthiness, so then you could then pull that plug of unworthiness out, then bring the deep soul knowledge out into the world as a communicator, teacher. What do you do in the world at the moment? What are you up to?
I'm trying to teach. I'm a scribe, hence my name.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find the right direction.
Okay.
Well, actually, I've given up trying to find the right direction, and I'm doing what I love to do.
Yeah. What sort of things have you been teaching? What's the content been like?
It's whatever comes through. I'm doing a course in miracles, so I channel a lot of Yeshua. I channel a lot of, letting go stuff and moving forward and finding the wisdom, connecting to source. I love to teach people to connect because I believe everybody is disconnected, and mental illness. I just don't believe that mental illness is mental illness. I think it's the disconnection from source, and I think they've just gone the wrong way around it. I have so many thoughts, and it all comes out in little ways, and wildlife as well. Nature is a big part of that connection.
Okay. So you're here to teach what you're passionate about. Here, it's a 3. And you're here to absorb knowledge. Do you read about 6 books at once? Watch tons of Gaia?
I used to. At the moment, I'm taking a step back. I used to enroll in every single course that I could afford to enroll in, and just take every energy that I could and try and figure it all out. But kind of drowned myself in other people's energies, and now I'm just sitting with me.
Yeah. So you're here to absorb all that knowledge and take it to a higher form, into your own form, and then teach it. That's why you're here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the 9 here is a dragon. There's a lot of power in you, isn't it? Gee, doesn't pay to piss you off.
Yes. Oh no. It takes a lot, but the dragon is definitely there, and I see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can be cranky when it really matters, not just for silly reasons. Like really matters. Very protective.
Yeah. So this is the enormous power of God, which is here to catalyze others to wake up. And this is the source of unity.
Okay.
It's about trusting if what we call splenic response, if his gut feel is the correct answer. You don't have to ask anyone else what to do. You just listen to yourself and you act upon the first gut feel. It'll be right. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I have learnt that.
Yeah. Okay, because you know better. And you're here to awaken people who really want to wake up, who can handle the fire of the dragon. Because you just walk in a room, you can't handle it, that's going to blow on you. And you've said nothing.
I'm starting to feel that in my writing, that it's becoming more of a, you know, I don't know, a more powerful energy that's coming through, and it's like, and I know that it's underneath all that. So I'm kind of aware of this.
Yeah. So you're a massive change maker with a mind here. Okay? And no one can
I know how to make change.
Yeah, no one can mess with you because you're too strong. Okay.
Oh my, yeah. Now I am, yes.
Yeah, it takes time, but you're too strong. The physical goal is that's the most powerful energy in the system. The physical goal is a 5, the most delicate, psychic, etheric energy. So part of you is hypersensitive, a mind reader, psychic. Do you have a crystal ball? You probably just read someone just by feeling their feels.
Yeah, I feel the feels, and I mean, I have crystals everywhere, but I tend not to use photographs. Images is something that is a connector to what's going on with others. But I mean, I can embody somebody else's physical symptoms and just know. So there's a lot of that there.
Yeah. So you're here to open to higher consciousness, bring the abstraction of spirit to the earth plane, and to bring pure truth of spirit into the world, which probably got you into a lot of trouble as a kid, telling the truth, because families don't like the truth.
Not as a child, as an adult.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like me because I'll just say.
Yeah.
And I won't matter where I say it. I'll say it online. I'll say it wherever it needs to be said. I'll just go, well, you know, you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So you're here to bring pioneering truth to the world. So for the work you do in the world, you need to do cutting edge work, because being in the norm, being average is boring to you. Okay. So you got to be on the cutting edge, looking for techniques, ideas, things to teach, things to do that really excite you. If you're not passionate about it, you can forget it, because you're going to throw it away. You're just not interested.
Yes, absolutely.
And so this 9 is a great catalyst for you to speak the truth. And it's great, very powerful for burning through the unworthiness here and to find balance, because you're probably very busy at times, or were when you were younger, had too much on, trying to expand and squeeze it all in.
Burnout after burnout.
Yep. In spiritual karma, you have an 11. I'll clear the screen for this. And the 11 here is about taking all sorts of ideas that come to you and discerning what is your truth and throwing away the rest which isn't.
Yeah.
And building your own unique structure of truth. And then taking that out in the world and sharing with them and giving people emotional support. This is a little resilient spring, giving emotional support to share your unique truth. So how's that been going?
No. I'm getting there, but I still don't have it formulated. No.
Yeah. Feeling a bit lost?
But it will come through.
You've been feeling a bit lost spiritually?
Yeah. From time to time I do, because I seem to be, regurgitating other people's stuff a lot. And, even with the Course in Miracles, it's all stuff that's very important stuff. And I love this. I love doing it, and I won't stop. But it's still not original.
Yeah. So you got to build your own unique structure of truth, but you have to go through getting structure from others initially to build you up. And then what will happen is that you will be able to then, when you have sufficient of your own structure, and no longer feel lost spiritually, then what will start to happen is that the next level of your unique truth will come into the world. So don't feel bad about looking at other stuff. That's the building blocks to get you to where you're really meant to go, which is your stuff. So it takes time. Can I ask how old you are now, Karen? Chi?
54.
Okay, so you're coming up to the point, okay, it'll probably happen in your 60s at the earliest. I got one of these. It's been my experience where your own unique structure starts to appear, but then you realize all the structure you've had previously is critical to get to that point, because you have to learn enough. You have to have enough consciousness to build a new structure. So you're absorbing new things, and you build your own unique structure. Then you'll teach it out in the world, because you're a born teacher. Okay, so note down all the realizations you have from this learning process, because that's going to form the basis for the next level of the mission. Remember I said a different layer will unfold when the time is right. So that's what's going to happen.
Yep. I'm aware of the layers. I know they come in.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's all about letting go. You know, it's all about knowing that it is a pattern, a universal pattern that will take what it takes to come through. And so I'm kind of, sorry.
Go on.
I'm just saying, I'm starting to really lighten up on myself and, you know, enjoy the process.
Yeah. You just go with the flow, trust that intuition. You've got that sorted out. Letting go and trusting the intuition is the key to moving forward. It's what we call the spiritual signature. It will guide you forward in the mission. Okay. There's nothing to worry about. It'll happen if you just follow the flow. Okay, often our mind tries to figure it out and manipulate it and control it. Oh, I want it a certain way, but we actually get in our own way otherwise. Okay? Yes. As you've probably discovered. So.
Yes, I have. And watching everybody else do it.
You all do. It's normal. Good life. Okay. We'll can say, oh, I got to control it. I feel too small. The world's too powerful. God's too powerful. Everything else is too powerful. I can't. I got to get a grip on this thing. But actually, we need to allow God, by consciousness, to come through us, because it wants to experience life through us. And once we let go, miracles start to happen. See?
Yeah.
That's the key. It's the opposite of what our ego thinks, our little ego thinks. So that
was very well said.
I don't control here. In fact, if I let go, it'll all happen. And the ego goes, oh, I'm out of a job here.
Yeah.
Okay. So the spiritual goal for you, are you very creative?
I have become very creative, poetry and writing and
the creativity here is taking an idea that's resonant to you, that's true to you, and then step by step turning it into a physical reality. Okay, something the mind gets excited about. But the thing is, the creativity can go off in tons of directions like this. So what you do in your mind initially, you may say, oh, I've got to do them all. They're all exciting. But then you realize, I've only got 24 hours a day and I've got to sleep. So you got to get down to is the one which opens your heart the most. Because they all seem equally exciting. The one that opens your heart the most, and focus on that. And what you do is you say, I'm here. I want to get over here. And you take you stay focused on the goal. You take small, manageable steps of success to get to the goal. When you achieve it, the frustration you may have in not being able to create, the reason all these ideas come is because the ego feels separate from the soul's creativity here. Like there's a block initially. When you disconnect, like this desperately tries to create everywhere to build that connection. But once you break through by completing a goal, small manageable steps are important, because if there's one great leap forward, the ego goes, oh, I can't do it, gets stuck. So little steps when you come to the goal, when you complete it, and don't get distracted by all the other ideas that come. Okay, once you do that, you find the creativity opens up. And the next thing you do is easier to do. Okay? The creativity flows more easily. So the product of all these guys, going back to what I said at the beginning, as you work through all the other stuff consciously on the outside. So training as a sole contributor means you can help people consciously on their journey through their entire life work through their 6 outer aspects rather than being driving around in the dark without a sat nav with the lights off, which is what most people do, and they crash a lot, as you've sort of noticed. This switch on. This is what we call spiritual sat nav, and you know where you're going to go, and this is a destination, and this gives you the tools, the different roads, pathways you need to travel to get to this destination. So the soul destiny for you is to overcome the disempowerment and abuse you had with the masculine here, and to divine masculine here, to come into your inner masculine power, be in a place of stability, unity, and service, integrity, and to blend Mother, Father, God within you into one whole energy, and to basically embody higher consciousness, God consciousness, to serve humanity. You're here to purely serve, Chi. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. I do feel the separation of the masculine, feminine within me, even in my work as well. It's either one or the other. It's not. I have a hard time blending the two.
Yeah, so the goal, they will blend as you work on all the 6 outer aspects we just talked about. Okay? They actually blend. So overall, summarize this little taster here. You're here to absorb knowledge and express your unique structure of spiritual truth as a teacher. Catalyze people to awaken very strongly and share pioneering knowledge. Okay, as a spiritual teacher, there's very specific focus in the way you do that, and to be of pure service to humanity. That's your life. Gee, how does that sound? That's why you're here.
That sounds absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Any questions, guys, on that? That was just that we will do one demo so you can see what's going on. It's all there in the name.
I just wanted to say I really like the structure and how it involves a conversation and elicits, what that person's feeling and how it makes them feel engaged. But I think it's really an amazing process.
Yeah, it's a cosmic dialogue between she and my higher selves are having a conversation upstairs, and it's coming through me within the structure of the system. This is what we teach you on the self-contract reading training, how to have a cosmic dialogue and to meet your client, meet another human being who's ready to hear this work, because you only come to this work when you're ready. You can't come to it if you're not ready, because there'll be too much truth for the ego, and Chi, from experience, too much truth blows most people's ego. But it's at the right time, you hear it, you go, oh my God, that's me. Someone switched the lights on, full bore. Let's go. I got to hear this. So when you come today at this precise time to hear this, because you were ready, and it sort of pulls all the different disparate strands of your life together into a whole, and you see complete order. And when we have complete order and understanding of the structure of our lives, we can get on with it with confidence, because we know there's no longer doubt in our minds. It's obvious now, because the numbers speak the truth. Then we can get on with it. And because you have this, really get on with it and make a difference. They get their mission going. God sends hundreds of millions of light workers to Earth. Only a small percentage actually get on with their mission, because they discover what it is. A lot get stuck in the unconsciousness of the ego programs. And the purpose of this work is to wake up as many of them as possible. When I wrote my book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, which a lot of light workers have on them all the time, to use as a guide for their lifetime, for the mission. It's the book I wrote. I wrote that book, which the book I would have liked to have when I started to wake up in my 20s. So I was 53 when it got published. So the idea is to help light workers get on with the mission. My mission is to help light workers get on with their mission. Okay. Let's just talk a bit more about this. I need to get to stop sharing briefly to find the PowerPoint. Zoom's not letting me access the menu below. There it is. So let us get back to sharing now in the time we've got left. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Chi. So thank you for
Yes, thank you so much.
doing this all there.
Wow.
Okay. Gray, my mate. We got a kiwi. All right. So the spiritual map of life is revealed here. You want to come on, Gray, as a panelist, then you can communicate to us. It's up to you. Just say yes to the dialogue box. So the spiritual map of life is revealed. You can switch your camera on as well, Gray, if you want. And if you're a therapist, counselor, coach, consultant, or a training workshop facilitator, this tool, the soul contract reading work, gives you the spiritual map of your clients or your students' lives. So what happens is that you get immediate and profound understanding of their issues, and it will accurately guide you through all your work with them, either during a training, workshop, or one-on-one. It builds immediate trust, because once the truth is out, as you know, you guys, you can't put it back. Okay. Most of life is pretty much built on untruths because they're our egos. And people get better and faster results in terms of their one-on-one healing work and awakening work. Okay. And in the group. Because once you acknowledge what your patterns are, it's so much easier because you put consciousness to it. It's half the battle of understanding what's creating my life experience, which I don't like this particular thing happening. What do I do? Okay. So it's very powerful for that. So if you decide to come on the 5-day training, which we run, to learn how to do this, to learn how to do what I just demonstrated, that was the short form of it. Normally we do the readings for at least an hour. But that was a taster, it was a summary we did with Chi. You'll learn a structure that will help you understand yourself and everyone else in your life. And you'll learn how to give soul contract readings based on people's birth names, and through interpreting the energies associated with the 22 Hebrew letters, which you just saw there. And we teach you how to open up your channel and how to develop it. And in the process of opening the channel, you will get to the place of what Chi was talking about, following the intuitive flow. It's called the spiritual signature, because when we follow that flow, life, or what opens our heart in each moment, our life opens and flows, magic happens. Most human beings are trapped in the left scientific brain, which have had that scientific overlay for 300, 400 years since Newton, and therefore life is much harder because we're trying to think our way through it, and the mind only gets it right 50% of the time. So the odds of getting it right are a flip of a coin in life if you try and think your way through life. But if you follow the flow of the heart, the intuition, life is going to get a lot more interesting. Much, much more interesting. So, okay. So, okay. So the way we teach the work is basically you'll learn experientially here, where you get immersed for 3 days, the first 3 days, in the energies of the chart. So we basically, if there's enough people on the course, we basically take everyone's birth chart and we go through all 22 numbers, and we pick out of those numbers. Every person in the class talks about their direct subjective experience of the numbers, and you'll never forget what that's like, because it'll be raw and visceral when you hear it. And for those of you who read the book or are watching this, it's not about getting more of the book. It's more about going to another level completely beyond the book, where you get to see the human, see and experience and absorb the transmission of the human experience of each number. And that experiential learning you will never forget, because it's going to be in your DNA, in your body. Okay, so you become the work. That's what we're actually doing, because it's a bodily transmission. And if you're drawn to this, it reawakens the memory of it in your DNA, which is the most effective way of learning. And then what we do is that we basically spend this last 2 days, we train you how to give and receive readings. And you'll be amazed. When you do that, you'll suddenly discover, I know this. It's not about remembering. Because you realize you've become it, and people give great readings. and even when they just practicing, because they become it. Okay, so it's about sitting in the field for the first 3 days, and you become it. And we teach you how to hold space, hold just like I've done with you, Chi, and then basically someone comes out the other end feeling completely validated. All those things you thought about in your life, you realize it's all real, and here's how it all works. And most importantly, now I know what to do, I can get on with it. Okay, we give recommendations on how to address specific issues. We meet people exactly where they are in their life, so they can move forward. Okay, even if they're really stuck. And we have ongoing professional development. We have about 300 practitioners nearly globally. We have a peer-to-peer Facebook support group community. Plus, we also have what is effectively part 2 of the program. Part 1 is what I just described, where you sit in this fifth dimensional bubble of love and receive the transmission of it to come into it and the structure of how to deliver it. And then we have a part 2, which is optional. Okay, where we spend 6 months taking you through 4 2-hour sessions where you go out in the world and deliver the work, and you come back every 5 or 6 weeks to the group, support group, and then we answer all your questions. So build your confidence. So things you're not certain about, and the practicalities of marketing and delivering the work are then answered. So you have more confidence. You go out in the world another 5 or 6 weeks and go and try that. And by the time the guys hit 6 months, they're very confident and they have integrated it in their business and they're up and running with it. So it's a 2-part program. Now that's purely optional though. The main thing is to start with a part 1 to find out, well, how does it work for me? Okay. Well, we figured out gradually over 30 odd years how to teach this thing. Okay, so it's really effective. So, how will your clients feel? What will they get from this? People will feel a deep feeling of peace and hear the truth of their life. It's very profound and very accurate. And a feeling of relief. Actually, I'm okay. I'm not crazy. I didn't fall off the back of a spiritual truck. I'm actually in the right place. Because everyone thinks I should be having some other life. Even me. Enable those who feel like victims of life, that was me for most of my life, to move out of this place and take charge and step forward to living their true purpose. Okay, that's very satisfying. I mean, 89% of people in normal corporate jobs are emotionally disconnected according to Gallup. Allowing for the margin of error, that's pretty much everyone nearly who does a normal job. Because they're not doing something which is aligned. And the purpose of this is to help people get aligned. First yourself, then others, to have a more fulfilling, joyful life, rather than just trying to pay the bills, survive in this matrix, especially given what's happened in the past 4 or 5 years. Actually bring joy and fulfillment to life. Something unheard of for most people. So what we're doing is that you learn how to show people how far they've progressed in their life. We teach you how to give specific recommendations, which we've learnt over 30 odd years, 60, 70 person years of developing this, and how they can overcome their challenges and manifest more of their dreams. Obviously, the client has to do the work. The main thing is they know what to do for the first time. And that helps them align to their life purpose and begin to manifest it, soul purpose. And it touches people's inner being. I mean, how are you feeling now after that, Chi? Have you heard all that?
I feel great, really great. Still taking it in, but yeah, thank you.
Your 11-2 takes time to absorb things. You absorbed about 15-20% of what I said. So watch the video at least 4 or 5 times, and
I do.
We'll go click, and the more structural building. Oh, I got this. I got that. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it builds a very trusting connection when someone hears this truth. And they go much deeper in their work with you if you're doing healing and things like that. But it also opens you to a deeper level of yourself, connected to others, and having more compassion. I didn't have a lot of compassion when I was starting this work because I was very numbed out. But now I have a lot more compassion for people because people do their best. And this just helps them do it better. That's what we're doing with this. So in the training, to the down zone, last 2 days you're preparing and giving readings in the group after the 3 days of transmission. So with a bit of practice, you can deliver good readings after the workshop, but you've got to work on it, good study. Okay, mastery of something takes about 10,000 hours, but you're going to get there pretty quick, a lot quicker. The more readings you deliver, the better. Okay, just practice, and we support you along the way. So, any questions, guys, about that? Right, complete this.
Not from me at the moment.
Okay. Do you have any questions about
No.
what we just talked about?
Not at the moment, thank you.
Okay. So, if you want to generate your own charts, go to soulcontractreader.com. It's free for the first 4 charts, because obviously when you do your first name for yourself and realize this is really accurate, and you can decode it by, you can get the book Your Soul Contract Decoded at yoursoulcontractdecoded.com. that shows you where you can get the book, so you can decode what the free chart software does. You pay a small fee after 4 charts. It took a lot of time and energy to develop the software. And if you're interested in learning how to do this to really help awaken other light workers, we run 2 trainings in spring. And the first training is what we call the California Mom Special. In spring, we run it over 2 weekends, 8th to 10th of March, 3 days, initial transmission. And the following week, the 16th and 17th of March, we do the practice. The California mums were asking me, Nicolas, can you do it over 2 weekends? Because I've got the kids, and if I can split it over this, my partner can look after them, and I don't have to take too much time off work, because we don't get a lot of holiday in America. Well, that's why we do that. And that runs 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. We'll get to one for you in a minute, G. 7:30 a.m. it starts Eastern time, 4:30 a.m. in Pacific time. People would, usually happy to do that. It's early, but it's better than flying to England, which is what people used to do. Okay, think of it as going on a long haul flight for 5 days or over 2 weekends. People do that. So if you're interested in that, the deposit for that training is £277 or $322. Full exchange, including the deposit, is £718 or $835. It varies, US dollars fluctuating a lot. And you can find out more at soulcontractreadingtraining.com. Okay, so that's coming up. We run one in spring and one in autumn. Okay. We usually run about October. If you're in Sydney, if you're in Asia Pacific, we have a much more friendly time zone for you guys. And we're running one on the 26th to 28th of April, first weekend, 3 days, and then the second weekend, 4th and 5th of May. That should really read into 2024. And so this is for if you're in America, that means starting about midnight. But anyone from England traveling east, and if you're happy to get up early in the morning, which apparently some people are in England, we start at 6 a.m. in England. That's when I'm on a long haul flight. I get up about 4 o'clock in the morning, take my no jet lag tablets, okay, and I'll get up early. It's running 6 to 2 p.m., 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. in England. In Sydney, it is running 3 to 11 p.m., which is a lot more civilized than going overnight. Okay, New Zealand's 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. because we've got guys coming from there as well. Okay, people can handle that. In Europe, it's 7 a.m. We have guys in the Middle East and India. So the Middle East and Gulf Standard Time's 9 a.m. start. India's 10:30 a.m. start. Malaysia and Hong Kong 1 p.m. Japan 2 p.m. Where people everywhere come to this. In Western Australia, it's a 2 p.m. start. Okay, and these are the US times. Eastern times is a 1 a.m. start. Pacific's a 10 p.m. start. So, but surprisingly, people still come because they can't wait till autumn. We had 3 last time turn up for this one, starting at this sort of time. They were about here. They started at midnight, these guys. because they were so determined to become practitioners. So again, find out more about that on stockcontractreading.com, and the pricing is the same. Okay, so there are our spring offers. Anyone interested in helping raise consciousness on Earth? And our mission is to raise the consciousness of humanity as much as possible with this little work. So, any questions on that, guys? That's sort of what we offer here. Got the training or logistics, Eldridge?
Just so with the training, it's you do it twice a year, and it's in 2 blocks. Or
Only in the spring. Only in the spring.
only okay.
In autumn, it'll be 5 days in a row, but it'll be 3 days, a day off, have a break, because it's quite intense energetically. The translation in 2 days of practice. So it's normally something like a Wednesday to a Friday, Saturday off, then Sunday and Monday. What we do in the autumn.
Okay.
If you want to do weekends, the time to do a weekend is in the spring, because we've got more time in the schedule to be able to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So over the weekends, it's from Saturday to Sunday, or
You mean in
sorry, because I'm just trying to.
you mean the spring or
I'm just trying to figure out.
Okay, so this one here is
I'm just trying.
this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
This is Friday, Saturday, Friday to Sunday, and this is Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, this is for the California Mum special. Okay. So if you do a normal job, that means only 1 day off work, Friday.
Mm.
Okay. That's what you need. Okay. Some people from Australia still come on this one because they can't wait till later in May. But we have more and more coming on the sort of May, April, May. Just no matter what suits you, really. We try to keep it as flexible as possible, given what people requested.
Mm.
Okay.
Is there a payment plan?
Yes, you can. We have a PayPal Pay in 3. Okay, it works. I'm pretty sure it works in Australia, provided you pass the Australian PayPal credit check. You can pay in 3. It's 3 equal payments over 3 months. It's available as well. It's on when you sign on the registration form. You just select pay. I won't find it for you. You just select PayPal checkout, and it'll give you that option.
It's paying for over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just stop sharing. It's easier to actually load web pages when it's not sharing because it slows it down. Yeah. I got to get my browser up. Give me a minute. I'll show you that option. I'll share the screen once I've got it up. Okay. It's a lot simpler that way. Okay, I've got it. So these one goes around a bit here, so I can get at the menus. Okay. So on the website, go to trainings, stock contract reading training here. Get there, and if you want to enroll, just click on this guy here. Got to fill everything in. But down at the bottom here, okay, what happens is that you agree to all the stuff here. So if you want to pay the full amount here, click on pay the full amount. Okay, you click 1 here, the full amount, hit PayPal checkout, and then you click on pay later here. Okay, and pay later will then take you through the PayPal credit check, Australian PayPal credit check in your case, and then it takes a few minutes, and then provided you pass that, you just enter your PayPal details in, or your credit or debit card details, and it will then take the payments over 3 months. Then you're in. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Okay. Right, but you must have PayPal checkout selected rather than credit card. Okay, that's how you do it.
Yep.
Does that help?
It kind of does. Yep. It's a lot of money for me. So, but it's not till April, so I can probably.
Yeah. Well, what you want to do is think about it as this. So it's an investment in your business, okay, in your spiritual business. Have you already got clients?
Not at the moment. There's been a big break.
Okay. So what the guys do is that they tell their friends about it, and they give practice readings for a bit, and then what they do is then they start charging people. They say, well, you ask your friends to share your website or your brochure or whatever, and you start charging about 50%, say, just because you say I'm practicing, you get a discount, and you gradually build it up. And after a while, once you get up and running, you've paid it off after a few months. Could be 3 or 4 months. So don't think of it as a sunk cost. Think of it as an investment, and you'll get a return on that. And because once people find out how exciting it is, you say, well, just share my business card or my website address or my web page or Facebook page, wherever you market it, and they'll tell other people about it. Usually people tell about 10 other people about something good they've experienced, which I'm sure you guys will be good at. 2 or 3 of those guys will come because of that. And then if you work out the numbers, if that exponentiates through the network of people, it doesn't take long for a lot of people to find out about it, which is what happened to me when I started this. There was no internet when I started this in the 90s, the way it is now.
Yeah.
And then I built the business purely through word of mouth. People would say, here's the money, Nicolas, I want a reading like her. She completely changed. I want what she had. I said, do you understand what it is? I don't care. I want what she had, because it purely through word of mouth, so it builds, and shortly, it depends on how it happens for you, but you can have the whole course paid off, plus then you're actually in profit in terms of financial viability. So you got to think of it as the whole package, an investment and an offering to change people. Okay, May will come because you're into truth and you're into structure. You have a classic configuration. Eyes and lemon tea.
This could be the missing link for me.
What's that?
This could be the missing link for me.
Yeah, you'll be a natural at this because you're built for it in your chart. Structure.
It links all my passions. Like I could use it for all of them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But
this is a good point of entry for people as a practitioner, because you find who they are, they know who they are, then you can bring all your other services or things you're going to develop or have running, you focus them according to the structure of the system, forms the core of working with somebody. Okay, because you know what's going on, they know what's going on, they'll keep working with you. So it creates repeat business with other therapies as well. Because someone else who doesn't understand what's going on, or less likely, they're going to keep working because you know where they are. You see, it's very powerful like that. And because they've got this massive head start in terms of awakening, they're going to keep at it because they know this is finally something that actually works. Let's go. That's usually the attitude.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you want to be telling people about it. Okay, so you've got practice people, and then eventually they'll network out to the people who will actually pay you. Course is paid off. You have a new string to your bow in terms of the business. It takes time.
Yeah.
You know that you've run.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's yeah. So I can do this.
You can do this. Yeah, you're here for.
Give me a bit of time.
Yeah, just work with it. Focus on it. You've got 6s are very powerful at manifesting. So focus on it as it's done, and that power of thought will manifest it for you. The
Yes.
sixth, you really want something to happen. You notice how it does happen and sort of comes out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's in you. You got very powerful manifesting energies.
I'm very careful about some things, but then there's other things that completely escape me. So, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Elders, do you have any other questions or comments given what we've just been talking about?
No, you just given me a lot to think about. I'm just trying to think in regards to the training, the course, and that's really about it. I think just coming on, viewing what you had to show, it really, really piqued my interest, and so it's something I definitely want to carry forward.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have the video
Yeah,
to you
definitely.
today so you can watch it again if you need to.
Yeah, and you said you wrote. Did you say you wrote a book?
It's called Your Soul Contract Decoded. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll show you, it's on the slide here. Yeah. That book will give you the spiritual philosophy behind the work.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. So, yeah, Your Soul Contract Decoded. They'll tell you more about the book and where to get it. You can get it on Amazon. But that's
Okay.
based upon it's a detuned version of the training manual for this, the key components of it in terms of interpretations, basic methodology,
Yeah.
background. But the training itself is a transmission, a very powerful transmission, which you can't put into a book in the same way. But the book is a good start to understand how the system works. Okay, it was the do-it-yourself way for people who wanted to generate their chart with soulcontractreader.com. What does it mean? And then they can get up and running. It's a good start.
Okay.
All right.
Fantastic.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Gee, you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was just looking at the cover of your book, but in regards to changing one's name, how does that affect the soul contract?
Okay, that's what we do in the level 2 training, which runs in June. Basically, you can think of actually, I'll give the PowerPoint up, which I'll explain. I've got a few minutes. I'll get the diagram up to show you how that works. Okay, is it gone? I'll share once I've found the PowerPoint for this. Found it. Just going to share the screen. Okay, so what we do in the level 1 training is that we teach what is a birth certificate name. Teach you how to give a good birth certificate name with the 7 aspects: physical karma, physical talents, physical goals, spiritual karma, spiritual talents, spiritual goals, and soul destiny. So you come out of that, and with a bit of practice, you should be able to deliver good birth chart readings. You do that with your clients for a while. Then what happens is that your client says, well, what about this current name? This is my married name I'm using. Okay, this is my partner. This is my mother, who's a pain for me. Okay, what happens? So in level 2, which runs once a year in about June or July, we teach you, you can think of this as like a cake of your life, your birth chart. And all the other names you've used and other people, significant people in your life, are like layers of frequency icing. And they infuse from their physical karma certain frequencies that go into your chart. It helps you grow in different ways. Sometimes challenge you, helps you grow, may hinder you. Okay, so we talk about that for 4 days in level 2. How does all that work? So it explains the hidden underlying relationship energy dynamics that create our relationships. And within that, we also teach you can optimize your name, which is a sort of magical process. We teach you how to optimize names so you get the right frequencies to help you accelerate working through all the issues that we just described in the birth chart. And align it to your true mission. As you awaken, you get clear on the mission, which is not always going to be apparent here fully, with detail. And that optimal name will help you manifest that mission. I changed mine to Nicolas David Ngan from Nicolas Guy Ngan back in 2006, and my life has totally changed. Totally radically changed in the past 17 years because I optimized the name. It created this global, it created all sorts of amazing things coming to me. So that's a secret to actually unlocking your, maximizing your potentials to optimize the name. We teach that art. It's an art form, basically, how to do that in level 2. But the main thing is to get level 1 under your belt first and get some plenty of practice. That's what level 2 does. Because clients will say to you, okay, gee, I understand myself. Tell me about everyone else in my life. I have to know now because this is so accurate. And that's what level 2 does. Then, then you say to them, some of these aspects aren't particularly conducive for a really more fulfilling life, but we can optimize your name to counteract all that and create a new reality. So that's the second stage of work you can offer your clients once they've had the first level. Because I'll ask you this question, what about all these other guys here?
Awesome.
Clarify things?
Yeah, so much to think about. It's exciting.
Yeah, lot to absorb there. So, any other questions, Eldridge, before we go?
Not at the moment.
Okay. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. It sort of gave you a good snapshot of the reality of this, of how transformational this work can be for others. You can make a real difference here. I mean, I still love doing readings 34 years on. I still love doing them. Making a difference to people's lives. Gives me a lot of pleasure. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do, other than teaching. So, okay.
Wow. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for total engagement. And hopefully we'll see you on the training. Any other questions? You got my email address. Just email me. Don't hold back. We give you structure, especially if you're not sure how it works. We've honed this for 33 years or 30 years we've running the training. So we've developed a lot of experience with us to help people grow.
Yeah.
Live a better life. That's the whole point of it. Become more conscious, more loving.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sure I'll be there.
All right. I'm sure you will too. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.